Hello everyone, I'm Max, and today I'm here to maximize your fear. Brand new Bigfoot footage that's shocking the world. Today we take a look at new Bigfoot footage and sightings coming from Ohio, Connecticut, and many other places with very convincing evidence. From HD Sasquatch trail camera videos to Bigfoot hunting clips and so much more. Also stay tuned for a crazy nature clip at the end of this video. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. So grab your I Found Bigfoot coffee mugs and allow your fear to be maximized as we dive into the best new and clear Bigfoot footage of 2026. Bonus compilation. Now this could actually be the clearest video of Bigfoot of all time. The video has also been AI tested many times and many different softwares said that it's not AI. The video was just released to the public and now Bigfoot experts are picking it up and analyzing it. And it was just highlighted on June 22nd, 2026 by Bigfoot researcher Todd Standing. Check out the footage.
Oh my God, Bigfoot. Oh my God, that is...
The HD footage shows a Bigfoot-like creature hiding behind trees and branches. Its eyes look human, too human to be a primate. It looks slightly gorilla-like, but not at the same time, like some kind of hominid creature. Also, it was taken somewhere in the US, which proves it was not any kind of ape or anything, because they don't live anywhere here. And experts point out its facial features and how they perfectly resemble recurring witness reports. It has the very large nose, the strong brow ridge, tough thick skin, the dark complexion, the dense yet wiry hair on its head. It pretty much checks all the Bigfoot boxes. But in the clip it stares right at the hiker, intimidating him, and then it quickly retreats back into the forest. Take a listen to what Bigfoot expert Todd Standing has to say.
Today we're going through some very impressive new footage. Can't be argued, this is absolutely not AI. I double checked it, triple checked it.
Now even though it passed AI tests and it's some of the clearest potential footage ever, Standing isn't too sold. He speculates the video could just be a very well done costume with special effects makeup. Which could be the case, but this would take lots of time, effort, and money. Would it really be worth it to hoax something like this? Most who watch the video believe it's the real deal though, and the man who took the video claims he was just out there hiking this day in this very remote section of forest, when all of a sudden he saw whatever this thing was, slightly moving through some trees trying to hide. And he says his footage, along with the tremendous fear he felt in that moment, was all too real. A terrifying, real experience that gave us this amazing new footage. Some of the clearest potential footage of all time. Let's take a look at a realistic Bigfoot video filmed earlier this year. The caption reads, "A family out walking captured footage of a Bigfoot in La Palmita, Spain, January 30th, 2026. So this one wasn't taken in North America this time. It was taken all the way across the world. Check it out.
Había algo esperándolos.
It was just like any other day. They went out to walk their chihuahua on the forest trails near their home. But this time, just on the other side of the trees, something was lurking, waiting for them. The gigantic Sasquatch-style creature moves out from the tree slightly to get a look at the family. They stop in their tracks, and their dog barks. Now that's a brave chihuahua. But right after this, they shut the camera off and left, not getting their full walk-in today. But it's crazy how well this one blends into its surroundings. If it wouldn't have moved and made itself known, it likely could have passed as a large fallen tree or something from a distance. One of Spain's closest equivalents to Bigfoot is the Basahan, a legendary lord of the forest from the Basque region in northern Spain. According to folklore, the Basahan is a massive human-like creature covered from head to toe in long shaggy hair. Some stories describe him as standing well over 7 feet tall, with incredible strength and large feet that have unusual tracks in the mud. Unlike many modern Bigfoot reports though, this one is usually portrayed as more of a guardian than a monster. So could this new video here be the Basahan? Many, including the family, believe so, but do you? The following is a new mysterious Bigfoot capture. It was highlighted on Instagram on May 4th of this year. All we really have with this one is the clear photo. No story, no details, nothing pretty much. But the picture itself speaks volumes. It was taken in an area of thick forest. Not many leaves on the trees, but the trees are abundant. And within the trees we see a pitch black humanoid silhouette. A dark, hunched and bulky Sasquatch looking figure. It's crouched way down, likely trying to hide from the explorer. We can tell whatever it is, it's thick and muscular, even through its dense fur. And it has the textbook domed head of a Bigfoot. Could this somehow be some kind of primate like a gorilla or something? Drawing conclusions based on the trees and overall look of the woods, it seems to be captured somewhere in North America. If this is the case, then it would almost be impossible to be a gorilla. Like a lot of these, I wish we had more with this one. More images, more details, and maybe even videographic evidence too. But it's been shared around a lot lately, so I figured I'd show you guys regardless. The photo itself is really cool and compelling. We just don't know a lot, sadly. But a lot of people are seeming to like this one, but do you? Let me know your thoughts on this one in the comments down below. This recently resurfaced Bigfoot footage comes from Litchfield County in Connecticut. Many think the footage has the potential to be some of the best ever. It was taken by a family who lives on a secluded property in the isolated woods there. They were inside their home this day when one of them spotted the huge creature outside of one of their windows. They all gathered around and watched and filmed.
Where is he?
He's coming on. He's there now. There he is. Talking. Jacob berries. Lots of berries.
Let's see him.
He's over here now.
Oh, they went too fast. I didn't catch him this time. I didn't catch him that time.
The way this beast moves is telling enough, I think. It moves unnaturally quick in kind of jerky movements, not like any living being we've ever seen. At first it's hunched down by the rocks, then it quickly stands up, walks a few feet, then hunches down again. Then it raises up and walks away with its arms swinging, a paddy-style stride. Then it hunches down one final time and takes off quickly. The man filming tries to keep up with it, but completely loses it. What's surprising is the family remains calm, seeming like they have had plenty of encounters like this before on their property. Now, Connecticut isn't usually the first state that comes to mind when people think about Bigfoot, but it has developed its own collection of sightings and local legends over the years. Although the state is much smaller and more populated than famous Bigfoot hotspots in the Pacific Northwest, it still contains thousands of acres of forest, rocky hills, and secluded valleys where unusual encounters have been reported. Many of the state's sightings come from the northwestern corner of Connecticut, where long stretches of woodland provide plenty of places for wildlife and mystery to thrive. And I think it's safe to say that mystery is definitely thriving here in Litchfield County. Do you guys think this family really caught Bigfoot this day? The footage does look super clear and super real, and it came out before AI was even a thing. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. Here is a really cool new Bigfoot video that was just filmed on June 20th, 2026. 3 friends were just hanging out enjoying their night when they decided to go for a night hike. On their hike, they eventually tried to call out to Bigfoot by doing some tree knocks. Listen closely to what happens next.
Damn, that sounds way better. Whoa. Don't make noise. Oh! What the f? Did you guys hear that? Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go. Oh.
You can tell they're just kind of messing around, having some fun, not expecting anything to actually happen. But 3 deep, quick knocks echo from the distance right after their knocks. The knocks sound really strange, like something powerful made them. The rapidness of the knocks tells us that whatever was doing them was doing it effortlessly. You can see the guys are trying very hard to make these loud sounds. They had to smack huge branches up against the tree to make them. So how could something be capable of making such powerful noises so quickly? The friends quickly grabbed all their stuff and left the area, startled by the unexpected answer. Now obviously we'll never know for sure what was out there with them this night. We never got visual confirmation of the creature, just the odd knocking sounds. Could this somehow be explained away though? Is there some kind of animal capable of making sounds like this? To counter this, one of the most well-known behaviors associated with Bigfoot is this mysterious phenomenon known as wood knocking. Many people who claim to have encountered Bigfoot say the knocks don't sound random. Instead, they often describe them as evenly spaced, intentional, and sometimes repeated several times. Some Bigfoot researchers believe these knocks might serve several purposes. One idea is that they are used to communicate across long distances in thick forests where voices would not travel as effectively. Another theory suggests the knocks could warn other Bigfoots about nearby humans or help family groups stay in contact while moving through the woods. Others think the sounds might simply be a way of marking territory or asserting dominance. So, was Bigfoot really out there with them this night? We may never know for sure. Now, as you guys may know, Ohio is said to be one of the biggest Bigfoot hotspots recently. For some reason, just within this year, there have been 8 new Bigfoot sightings. 8 widely publicized Bigfoot encounters in Ohio. But there have been so many more that haven't been widely publicized as well. The total is actually believed to be somewhere around 20. Now that's just insane. But there's a new piece of video that just came out as well that has been circulating the internet lately. The caption states, "Bigfoot spotted in Ohio, April 28th. A group of hikers were walking along the lakeside path when something caught their attention. A large, dark, upright figure on the other side of the lake. With its dark coloration, it blends in very well, but it's just seen enough to tell us it's something unknown. The Bigfoot-like figure is looking around, focused on itself and not the hikers. Most people who watch the video say it doesn't look like a costume, and it doesn't look like it could be any misidentified wildlife. It looks to truly be the infamous Bigfoot. Skeptics argue it's too good to be true though, and bring up AI of course. But the fact that Ohio has been such a big hotspot recently, that adds to the realness factor too. Ohio really has always been a supposed Sasquatch hotspot, but it just seems to be growing in popularity now. They even have their own regional Bigfoot legend called the Ohio Grassman. I've talked about it a lot, but it's essentially just a Bigfoot-like creature that has very long, straggly hair and is said to make dens and nests out of grass, that lives in Ohio, of course. But believe it or not, for this next clip, we have another piece of Bigfoot evidence coming from Ohio. Another brand new and exclusive video. This Ohio Bigfoot video was taken on April 4th, 2026. 2 people were driving down a very dark and very heavily forested road. It was surrounded by huge, tall trees on either side that stretched for miles. Well, as they slowly approached one giant tree positioned just on the side of the road, they spotted something. It looked like some kind of giant humanoid creature. So the passenger rolled their camera and the driver rolled the car closer. And this is what was revealed. Hiding behind the tree was indeed a Bigfoot-like creature. It looked super strong and robust, a super muscular build. The dark ape-human hybrid begins sprinting away on two legs when spotted by the passing car. It turns and runs up the hill, and the drivers quickly speed away. The Sasquatch seemed to be more startled than angry, and that is a common theme in reported Bigfoot sightings. The creatures are said to be more timid usually, trying to stay hidden rather than acting aggressively. However, there are lots of encounters where people get attacked by them, so they're not always timid like that. In one of my next clips, I'm going to cover an instance where a Bigfoot researcher gets attacked, and it's pretty crazy, so stay tuned for that. But anyways, what the heck is going on in Ohio? Why is strange activity growing so much in the region? I have no idea, but I definitely do find it interesting. And this is definitely some of the clearer recent footage I've seen from the area. But let me know if any of you live in Ohio and if you have experienced anything strange there. Here is another set of found photos of a man who reportedly raised a baby Bigfoot. Just like the other story, he tried to keep it all a secret and raise the baby in confidence. There are two separate photos that document his experiment or project. One of him holding the baby after he had just recently found it, and one of him posing with the creature 10 years later when it was fully grown. The man writes, "For 10 years, I kept the most impossible secret a person could keep. Hidden in my barn, growing from an infant no bigger than a human toddler into a 7-foot tall creature that shouldn't exist. I'd fed it, taught it, and protected it from a world that would never understand. And then one October morning in 2005, I walked outside to find something massive standing at the edge of my property, staring at my barn with an intensity that made my blood run cold. The mother had finally come, and she wanted her child back. If these photos and stories are real, this is some of the coolest evidence ever. If you remember, I also just recently covered another story pretty similar to this, so if you haven't seen it yet, go check it out. But it also hasn't come out what this man's name was or where he's from. I think he wants to keep his name and location a secret. But the photos do show his face, so maybe we'll find out. It's unknown if the photos were intentionally found or if they were leaked. Maybe his secret got out and people wanted to share it with the world. And once again, we don't know who took the pictures, but it was likely someone he trusted a lot. But what do you guys think? Do you like evidence like this, and do you think this one is real? It remains pretty controversial, so I'll leave it up to you. Alright, this could be the biggest Bigfoot breakthrough we've ever had. A reported Bigfoot body has finally been found. One of the main problems that people have with believing in Bigfoot is the lack of discovery, the lack of DNA proof. Well, this Bigfoot body that was just recently found solves all these problems. I did a quick segment on this one, I think about a month ago, but now it's been getting mainstream attention and news stations are covering it, and a lot more information is coming out now too. So I figured I'd share it again and give you guys all the new information and details. So here you go.
Does Bigfoot really exist? Now there is a man called Snake the Bigfoot Hunter who claims he has found actual Bigfoot remains. He has this 8-foot, 300-pound body in his possession. He's even nicknamed it Dak. He found the remains in the Adirondack Mountains in 2024, even put them on display at last year's Great New York State Fair.
So yes, a man by the name of Charles Stewart, known as Snake the Bigfoot Hunter online, allegedly found the corpse of a Bigfoot-like creature in the deep woods of the Adirondack Mountains. The best part about this though is it's been DNA tested. He sent the specimen in for DNA testing and the results showed that it contained 58.5% Neanderthal DNA and 41.5% human DNA. This type of DNA would prove that the creature is indeed a Neanderthal-human hybrid, something undiscovered living here on Earth. Snake the Bigfoot Hunter states, quote, "This is Dak, 8 foot tall, 300 pounds, found decomposing in the Hadironda forest in the Adirondack Mountains. DNA tests at Cornell University prove Neanderthal lineage. He was taxidermied. The body has been multi-verified by the Six Nation Indian tribesmen, Bigfoot experts, Japanese scientists, and news media," end quote. Take a listen to his further analysis and breakdown of the DNA tests that were done.
Yeah, we had blood, hair, and fecal matter, and we just submitted it all and got that done through Cornell Veterinary and BioDNA Lab. The results came back, as you mentioned, 58.5% Neanderthal/Denisovan. I had to do a little bit of research myself to figure out exactly what was going on. The Denisovan is a Asian kind of Neanderthal. It's mixed with 41.5% human, and some of that's indigenous.
So lots of different verification sources and confirmations with this one. He also hits on the creature's apparent cause of death. He says it was likely bludgeoned to death, and they believe it was by another one of these creatures.
The reason I found it was just being in the right area where I could smell it, because this body was decaying and this thing was sitting in a poison ivy patch. It just was absolutely disgusting. Based on what we figured out, this was dead probably about 2 days when I had found this specimen, okay? Next to this body were some larger footprints. After speaking to a couple other experts, we determined that one of the causes of this specimen's death was probably from getting bludgeoned to death by a larger Bigfoot.
These news clips pretty much cover everything. I love how in-depth they go about it. He was also interviewed by other popular news stations. Check out a quick clip from his Newsmax interview.
The reason we actually have this body, and I have been able to show it, is that we did not disclose this until we were able to get in front of a lot of people. We were afraid that that body would disappear, or that I would disappear, to be honest with you.
Despite all of this, he says it's been a, quote, uphill battle to get even more verifications involved. Pretty much because some people don't believe, and because Bigfoot is considered kind of taboo. He compares it to UFOs, how nobody really believed and it was more of just a folklore tale until all of these new classified FBI files started coming out. He says Bigfoot is dealing with the same type of scrutiny. This seriously could be some of the best Bigfoot evidence of all time, but he's still in the work of getting more confirmations and such, so I'll definitely keep you all in the loop. Pretty crazy stuff, right? But what do you guys think about this one? Do you believe? Let me know in the comments down below. Moving away from the amazing new Bigfoot body evidence, this brand new clip features an insane Bigfoot sighting. It was just posted on July 8th, 2026. Pretty much a family was driving down a very forested road when the kids saw something they couldn't explain. The caption reads, "My kids screamed they saw Bigfoot and were freaking out, so I turned around thinking they were full of crap. They weren't."
Where's Bigfoot?
He's moving. Is he not near that tree?
Oh, there. Where's he at?
So they turned back around and drove down the road again, and the parents kind of playfully asked, "Where's Bigfoot?" and not thinking anything of it. Then finally, a dark, upright figure is briefly seen in a break in the trees. It's certainly Bigfoot-shaped, tall and humanoid. Now, some tried to say, oh, this is just a statue meant to scare passing cars and such, and it very well could be. But when we slow the video down, it appears to be moving. It looks like its arm moves downwards. This would obviously debunk the statue theory if its arm really was moving. Regardless, the video has been going insanely viral, sitting at around 18.5 million views right now. Obviously, the sighting is very quick though, so some are not convinced. But some are fully convinced, saying that these children's reactions seem very genuine, the encounter seems realistic, and the figure itself looks very lifelike. But for now, it'll have to remain a mystery, unless more information comes out, of course. Until then, let's go ahead and move on to the next new Bigfoot clip. showcasing much clearer evidence than this one. On July 3rd, 2026, some shockingly clear photos of Bigfoot's face were released. The caption reads, "This is not a monkey. Remote Southwest Washington State, USA trail cam photos." The images were taken by a super high quality trail camera, as the captures are super HD. Check them out. The creature seen looks very strange. Not quite monkey-like, not quite human-like, like something we've never seen before. They even look different than the usual descriptions of Bigfoot. The first capture shows the creature slightly further away, looking down slightly, away from the trail camera. It seems at first it didn't realize the camera was there. Then in the second shot, it's seen looking right at the camera, giving us a closer and clearer look at its features. It looks wild and predatory, with tiny human-like eyes, an excessively large nose, straight lips, and lighter-colored rough skin. And its face is surrounded by coarse hair. It almost looks like a mane. I don't know about you, but when I first looked at the creature, I thought it looked like an ape mixed with a lion mixed with a human. It just looks so off-putting. And not to mention, Washington State is often considered one of the most famous places in the world for Bigfoot stories. This is because of the sheer number of eyewitness accounts and the amount of wilderness where people believe an unknown animal could remain hidden. Many reported sightings come from the Cascade Mountains, the Olympic Peninsula, and the dense forests surrounding Mount St. Helens and Mount Rainier. So could this really be the clearest evidence yet coming from Washington? It seems it really could be. And if you live there or have ever been there, have you ever seen anything? Let me know. Speaking of Bigfoot hotspots, we're moving back to Ohio for this one. This segment has two pieces of evidence, a crazy thermal video and some wild Sasquatch vocalizations. This was all just highlighted by Rocky Mountain Sasquatch, a Bigfoot investigative group. It was submitted to them by a man named Sean Gilligan. It comes specifically from Bainbridge, Ohio. Gilligan states, quote, "My friend sent me a thermal video his brother got a couple weeks ago. Whatever that Bigfoot-like hominid is on video, the dogs do not appreciate it being around. They appear to be upset and barking up a storm," end quote. The video does clearly show some kind of human-like figure in the distance on the thermal. Some say it looks too human-like and could just be a person out there, but others believe it's Bigfoot. Especially because of these alleged Sasquatch vocalizations that came from right in the same area. Here are the sounds. The audio is enhanced so you can hear the sounds better. The long, deep howls go on for minutes straight. They sound terrifying and predatory, unlike any sound we've ever heard coming from the forest. In Ohio, they don't have any kinds of animals that could make a sound like this. The howls are too deep and too loud to be anything we know of. At times in the recording, you can even hear coyotes howling back and barking at whatever was making the sounds, showing us it was happening there in real time, not any kind of staged audio. Something was really out there howling this night. We just don't know what it was. Some say that this audio evidence, along with the thermal video, shows us that there really are Bigfoots roaming in Bainbridge, Ohio. And I've talked about it a lot, but Ohio is one of the biggest Bigfoot hotspots in the world, especially recently. More and more evidence is coming out pretty much all the time from here. But what do you guys think about this one? Definitely some interesting evidence. But let's go ahead and take a look at another brand new Ohio Sasquatch video for this next one. Here is a super clear Bigfoot video coming from Ohio. The creature was spotted and filmed on April 9th, 2026. It was taken by a canoer, out just enjoying the lake this day. The boater reportedly goes to this lake all the time and has never seen anything strange there. But today, everything would change. As he paddled through a smaller section of the lake close to a patch of woods, he saw it. A Bigfoot, clear as day. The dark, hunched, primate-like figure marches through the forest in the opposite direction of the witness. It's extremely dark, covered in dark, long fur, making it stand out. The canoer then reportedly cut off the video and paddled away and went home for the day, not knowing what to think. Now, of course, the main debate with this one is whether it's AI or not. Some say because the video is so quick and it's such good quality that it's AI. And it very well could be with this one, I'm not too sure. And I know I say this a lot, but I'm just the messenger here. I just do my best to gather the clearest and newest Bigfoot footage on the internet and show it to you guys, even if it's controversial sometimes. The clearer evidence is my favorite, and I'm sure it's yours too, because it's less likely to be faked than blurrier videos, because we can see so much more in HD captures and films. And I would definitely say this is one of the clearer recent videos. And the figure does look pretty realistic too, the way it walks. Experts talk about how its legs kick more upwards and its arms swing as it walks. These exaggerated movements are very commonly reported in sightings like these. Because they're so powerful and large, that's why they're said to move like this. The most famous example is the Patterson-Gimlin film. Patty walks with a super exaggerated arm swing and a distinct bipedal gait. But anyways, regardless of if this new video is real or not, it's a very good representation of what Bigfoot would look like in HD. So like most of these, I'll leave it up to you to decide for yourself. Moving back to the North America area for this one, this crazy footage comes from British Columbia, Canada. It was posted on May 20th, 2026. The shaky but pretty clear video was taken in one of the dense forests there. It appears to show a juvenile Bigfoot-like creature making its way through the undergrowth. The slowed and zoomed version gives us a closer look. It's a dark reddish-brownish color. The brief moment it passes through the sunlight shining through, that's when we see its true color. But it does indeed look smaller than a typical Sasquatch, but it still seems to be Bigfoot shaped, slightly hunched with a domed head and covered in hair. Freezing it on the sunlight shot, this is when we can really tell it's not human. It's too dark, and the hair on its body appears real, attached to its frame. But obviously, the video is a little shaky and taken from a distance, so we can't tell for certain what it is. But as you may know, British Columbia has long been considered one of the most famous places in the world for stories about giant ape-like creatures that roam the wilderness. With its endless forests, towering mountains, and vast stretches of land that remain largely untouched, it's easy to see why tales of mysterious beings like Bigfoot have survived for generations. And I think it's cool that sightings of these juveniles or youngs have been increasing recently. That might show us that these creatures are reproducing and that their population is growing rapidly, quicker than ever. Maybe that's why so much more evidence is coming out of them nowadays. That, along with the increase in technology, allowing us to get better videographic and photographic evidence just like this one. This brand new terrifying Bigfoot video was just posted on July 15th, 2026. A hunter was out in the woods in the dead of night. As he was out there, he got this unshakable feeling like something was watching him. He eventually heard something and tracked the sounds and moved in closer. He pulled out his phone and zoomed in, and his worst nightmare was confirmed.
One of my followers sent me this video while he was out hunting. He noticed these scary eyes staring at him in the darkness. Now look at this. Now that is definitely a pair of eyes that's staring at him. And this creature looks very tall.
The video was sent into a paranormal Facebook page where he narrated the video and posted it for the world to see. At first, the insanely tall figure is out of focus, taken away by the trees. Then the camera locks onto the giant silhouette. We see an unmistakable pair of eyes, human-like eyes. The eyes are followed by a pitch-black humanoid frame and long dark hair. If the hunter didn't see the eyes, he wouldn't have seen the creature at all. It completely blends in with the darkness. This is a prime example of the perfect camouflage people talk about when it comes to Bigfoot. Many believe they can hide just out of sight, just enough for most people to miss them. But once in a while, someone will spot one just like this. It makes sense that it was caught by a hunter too. He was said to be a trained and experienced outdoorsman, so he's used to tracking down prey even in the darkness. And it seems that's exactly what he did with this unknown creature this night. He likely didn't feel too threatened, as he knew he was armed, so despite that strange feeling he couldn't shake, he continued hunting. He probably thought some kind of known predatory animal was hunting him, like maybe a wolf or a bear or something. But a Bigfoot? I'm surprised he didn't drop his phone when recording. But what do you guys think about this one? Was it a clear look at a Bigfoot hiding? A classic example of their insane camouflage capabilities? Let me know in the comments down below. Here is some pretty extensive evidence that was just released on July 11th, 2026. It all went down on some remote land in the Tillamook State Forest in Oregon. It was all recorded by a group called PNW Bigfoot Search, and they state, quote, "My trail camera captured glowing eyes early this morning, 7/11/2026. So at 11 a.m. I took off to check things out, collect my camera, and come home. What was supposed to take 25 minutes took over an hour and a half. I found tracks that I don't believe are black bear and decided to cast it. One print was 16 inches in length and 8.5 inches across the toes. The stride appears to be 5 feet in length between the tracks. What it truly is, I'm still not sure, but I can tell you for certain I was terrified being the only person in the woods at the time," end quote. Written by Tanner Hoskins. But just look at all this amazing evidence they captured this day. I mean, usually we just get one type of evidence, like a video or a photo, but this time we have photos and footprint casts. It's some pretty crazy stuff. But analyzing the first photo of the eye shine, all we can see are its eyes glowing in the darkness. The height of the eye shine, though, is what's so telling. It looks to belong to an upright creature that would be very tall, comparing it to the trees beside. And then the trackways are pretty remarkable too. The one looks super Bigfoot-like. We can see its individual toe prints and details in the middle of the foot as well. It's pretty defined. And he did a pretty good job at casting it too. It looks pretty legit. But I find this one specifically super interesting because of the dual evidence captured. It definitely lends more credibility and legitimacy to it. I'll definitely keep you all updated on this story and let you know if he finds anything else. Until then, on to the next one. Now here is a super strange Bigfoot trail cam photo. This one was posted on August 24th, 2025, so almost a year ago now. The uploader didn't state where exactly it was taken, but they said it was taken miles back into a dense forest. Take a look. Now you can see why I called this a super strange Bigfoot photo. It's obviously some kind of bipedal, primate-like figure, hunched down, facing away from the camera. It's hunched over, arms in front, maybe looking at something on the ground. What has people talking is the overall frame of the mysterious figure. It seems very short and stubby, with a unique build to say the least. It has skinnier legs, followed by a wide midsection and upper portion. Bro's definitely been skipping leg day. But in all seriousness, what the heck is this? Is it a juvenile Bigfoot? Could it somehow be some kind of known wildlife, maybe a deformed monkey or something? There are lots of questions with this one for sure. But because it was believed to be taken somewhere in the US, most say it can't be any kind of monkey. And the cool thing about this one too is it's a pretty clear one. It gives us a clear look, but we still can't figure out exactly what it is. I wish we got a shot of it turned around the other way too, so we could see its face and such. But it still is a pretty good capture and definitely a unique one too. So is this really a juvenile Bigfoot? Or is there somehow another answer to the question? The crazy thing is, creatures that look just like this have been caught on camera multiple times, literally with the exact same look all over the US. What do you think they could be? Here are some more very clear found photos of Bigfoot. That's right, while scouring the internet, I found another set of images of a man who claims he found a baby Bigfoot. His story is different than the others though, and it's super interesting to say the least. The uploader states, a man residing in Montana State, USA claims to have rescued what he thought was a baby monkey in 1974. He says he never imagined that it was anything other than a baby monkey. I mean, he definitely thought it was strange that there was a monkey out there in the wilderness of Montana because monkeys don't live there, but he still reportedly took it in and fed it and took care of it for a few days. Then once it was healthy, he reportedly released it back into the woods. Not before taking a picture with it, of course. But then one day, about 20 years later, quote, something huge came and visited him at his remote cabin. He believes this Bigfoot was the baby he rescued all those years ago, all grown up now. So in this one, the man didn't raise the creature, he released it back into the wild where it would grow and thrive. And it eventually got the courage to go pay him a visit again. If this is real, this is one of the coolest Bigfoot stories ever. It's so wholesome. And the photos do look pretty legit. The baby one looks really realistic and the adult one as well. Montana is also said to be a decent Bigfoot hotspot, especially out in the remote wilderness like where this guy's cabin was. But once again, like with the other ones, we don't know who took the photo. Likely someone he trusted a lot, or he set up his camera to take the pictures himself. And of course, if more information comes out about this one, I'll be the first to update you guys. I wish the man's name was revealed too, but it appears he wants to remain anonymous. On July 15th, 2026, a man would capture something terrifying on camera and he didn't even know. The man was outside tending to his garden late at night when he spotted a pair of eyes looking at him from the edge of the woods on the edge of his property. He thought it was just a deer and started filming it, not thinking anything of it. But his camera revealed something else that definitely wasn't a deer.
Hello, Mr. Deer. There he is. Look at him.
On the camera, along with the eerie eye shine, we see a huge dark silhouette. Whatever this is, it's absolutely massive. It doesn't look like any known animal. It also seems to be standing very tall and upright. How this man didn't realize it wasn't a deer is beyond me. Maybe it was darker out than it appears on the camera. It seems the camera at least made it brighter and easier to see. But whatever the figure is, it just stands there and stares at him, not moving much. Then his video cuts off. Luckily, he didn't try to get any closer because I don't know what would have happened next. Most viewers are calling it Bigfoot because of the size and overall look, but some think it could be a different cryptid as well, maybe the Dogman or even something else. One thing's for sure, regardless of which, it's absolutely gigantic. And I don't think there's any way it's any kind of wildlife. The truth is much wilder. It seems this man dodged a bullet this night and didn't even know it. I'm sure he knows now though because of all the buzz his video is getting, and all of the Bigfoot comments. But luckily he survived and gave us this amazingly disturbing footage. Now here is some super interesting and unique Bigfoot evidence. Somewhere deep in the wilderness of South Africa lies a chilling piece of evidence. A large footprint embedded in the side of a cave or mountain. Take a look.
So this is about the height of an average man we have today. So if I was standing with my height, I would probably just go under his foot.
Oh, you hear that?
Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
I would probably just go under the foot.
And it's
this
crushing.
and this is a woman's foot.
Which means a man's foot is
It could have been bigger than
bigger.
what?
Yeah.
On May 20th, 2026, a TikTok account by the name of Sacred Expeditions uploaded a video from their trip. They state, quote, "The giant footprint. Some stories survive because nobody can fully explain them. Nkulu takes us deeper in the mystery behind this enormous footprint," end quote. So Nkulu was essentially their tour guide, and he showed them this strange piece of evidence. The print itself is pretty much the same height as him. It's unfathomable. They claim nobody knows how this print got there, and that it's not man-made. Now, South Africa has a rich tradition of oral history, and among its many legends are stories of enormous human-like beings said to have lived in the region long ago. These tales vary between cultures and communities, but many describe giants as powerful figures that inhabited the landscape long ago. One of the best-known legendary giant figures connected to southern Africa is Mondoro. Another fascinating legend comes from the San or Bushmen, who are among the oldest indigenous peoples in southern Africa. Some of their stories describe powerful beings that were much larger than ordinary humans, and lived during a distant age when animals and people interacted in extraordinary ways. If these creatures did indeed roam back in the day, that could explain what Bigfoots actually are. They could be a giant species of ancient humans that secretly survived, a population that survived and nobody knew, a species that has tried their best to remain hidden. The following new video has been taking the internet by storm. It's been going very viral for many reasons, one of them being that the encounter and the video itself look super authentic. A woman was just relaxing outside on her front porch this day when some very powerful noises started coming from the tree line right in front of her. So, like what most of us would do, she pulled out her phone and started recording. Watch what happens next. She states, "I was just relaxing and all of a sudden I hear lots of cracking." After recording this, she posted it online to see what others would say, and commenters quickly pointed out a chilling detail that she seemed to miss. One commenter states, "So nobody saw that tall figure move to the side and stand there?" Another commenter says, "I would have pissed my pants, that's Bigfoot." So yes, when you zoom in and look closely, it really does look like some kind of figure moves and stands there behind the tree. Could this really be Bigfoot like many viewers believe? Some say it could just be a branch snapping or a person cutting trees down or something, but I don't know. Another thing adding to the authenticity of this one is the woman has never posted any kind of Bigfoot or cryptid videos before this. This was completely the first strange clip like this on her entire profile. Not even this, but she doesn't even mention Bigfoot and doesn't make any claims about this one. It seems she really just had this strange experience and wanted to share it online. It certainly is a strange video regardless of what you believe. Could this have been Bigfoot powerfully moving through the trees? Sasquatches are said to break off big tree limbs and behave this way, but could it be explained in another way? I'll leave it up to you. Here is some brand new super clear Bigfoot footage just taken on June 12, 2026. It comes from the Nakamixon State Park in Bucks County, Pennsylvania. The witness was allegedly out hiking in the park in the middle of the day. The conditions and visibility were super clear, but for some reason something unknown was lurking out there. The witness, breathing heavily, zooms in and gets an amazing video of the alleged creature. A dark, upright, primate-style creature is seen, moving quickly through the thick foliage. At the beginning, it looks to use its arms to propel itself off of something, an interesting detail. Then it continues on its path, walking powerfully, with its arms swinging side to side. It walks behind the brush and disappears once again. Like a lot of the clear recent Bigfoot videos, there are lots of debates with this one. Skeptics are saying it's AI because the creature almost looks off, but believers say the footage looks too real. Also, I will say, I thought with the current technology we have today that we could only make AI videos that last around 13 seconds at the most. This video, raw and uncut, lasts just over 25 seconds. Now, I've personally never seen an AI video this long, but our technology could be evolving. Some skeptics say it could be a digitally created video too, like CGI, or that it could just be someone in a costume. Regardless of all the controversy, it's one of the clearest videos of all time, and that's why I wanted to show you it today. What do you guys think? Do you agree with the skeptics or the believers on this one? Or do you remain more neutral? It's definitely some interesting footage either way, but let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Now this is a super clear up-close photo of Bigfoot's face that has been circulating online for the last few years. It hasn't really gotten the attention it deserves though. Ever since its release, experts have been taking a look at it and analyzing it, and most of them really love the photo despite the mystery that comes with it. One uploader states, quote, "This is by far the clearest photo of Sasquatch to date." It was posted anonymously for obvious reasons. AI is incapable of generating images to this level of detail and perfection. If you zoom in, you can see that there's one standing right next to him as well, which is visible by its hair, end quote. I mean, I agree, the photo is super clear. It would definitely be hard to hoax something this clear in HD. It looks like a perfect and realistic blend of an ape mixed with a human. It looks intelligent. One of the most prevalent Bigfoot researchers, Todd Standing, also took a look at this image. The image wasn't taken by him, but he analyzed it. And this is what he said.
One thing I'm gonna state quite clearly is this: I do not believe this is AI. This looks like a very potentially legitimate photograph of a Sasquatch or some fantastic high-level makeup. The possibilities that I'm looking at here, this is a human being with makeup because it looks extremely organic. Proportions, they've been argued, are not human.
So he believes this is either Bigfoot or the best makeup ever. To me, this doesn't really look like any makeup I've ever seen. I don't know about you guys. This seriously could be one of the best pieces of photographic evidence of these creatures. Now there's not much story behind it that we know of though. That's the main factor holding us back here. The little to known background information leaves us with much more mystery. If we knew, for example, when it was taken, where it was taken, and who took it, it would be extremely hard to deny. And these details do matter when it comes to verifying important evidence like this, so hopefully more info eventually comes out about this one. And of course, I'll be on the lookout like always, and will update you guys when it happens. So in the meantime, check out this next crazy clip. Let's take a look at another set of insanely clear photos of Bigfoot's face. This one comes with 2 photos taken in very quick succession. So pretty much the first picture was snapped and then the second one was snapped right after, believed to be taken on a trail camera. Both are consistent and show an up-close look at some kind of Bigfoot-like creature moving through the woods. Take a look. Seen is indeed what looks like the face of a Sasquatch. The first photo shows it from further away, and it's hidden just a little bit more behind the brush. The second one is closer and less blocked, believed to be digitally zoomed in. Something almost seems off about the face though, it looks super strange. The uploader, the Bigfoot expert on Facebook, says the images were taken in Washington State, but he didn't mention the exact location or region of which the trail camera was located in. The strangest detail about this one that people are pointing out is its mouth or lips. It seems to have some kind of weird line on its top lip. Lots of viewers are saying it looks unnatural, but some say it could just be the angle from which it was taken or some kind of deformity. I don't know though, it's really strange. Besides this detail, everything else looks super real and almost textbook. And the creature itself looks really angry, staring directly into the trail camera, likely upset at discovering the hidden device. And like I've mentioned before, Washington State is no stranger to these types of Bigfoot sightings, and it's actually one of the largest hotspots in the entire US. So was this really Bigfoot out there caught on a trail camera in the woods? Many believe so. The following is some really good Bigfoot footprint evidence. A Bigfoot research group called PNW Bigfoot made a huge breakthrough last year, and it didn't really get any attention. So today we're finally giving it some attention. The group states, quote, "After 5 years of dedicated research and countless expeditions into reported Sasquatch hotspot locations, our team at Pacific Northwest Bigfoot Search made a significant find yesterday, on April 26, 2025, while conducting field work along the banks of the Little White Salmon River in Gifford-Pinchot National Forest. We located what we believe to be a plausible Sasquatch track, discovered in close proximity to an extremely fresh elk sign," end quote. So maybe Bigfoot was hunting elk like in the previous video today. But just look at the photos and measurements of the casts they made. Pretty crazy stuff. PNW Bigfoot Search also states, quote, "This track is 13.5 inches in length and 7 inches wide. Over the past 24 hours, we have methodically worked to rule out alternative explanations. At this time, we can state that the track is neither consistent with known bear prints nor with human tracks," end quote. So according to their evidence and information listed, this really could be a legitimate Bigfoot track. I also wish they would have taken pictures of the fresh track too and not just the footprint cast, so we could have got a look at that as well, but it's still some super amazing evidence regardless. What do you guys think? The following is an exclusive video of a Bigfoot attack taken by a popular Bigfoot researcher. Bigfoot enthusiast Todd Standing has some of the clearest Bigfoot footage ever, but this one was never really shared with the internet. He just released it on July 5th, 2026. Watch and listen as he plays and narrates his crazy encounter.
It's minus 15, there's about 3 feet of snow, and I just had a confrontation with 3 different Sasquatch. One of the Sasquatch has taken off into an area that I'm following right now. I'm following this trackway, I'm dog tracking it as I call it. So there's a trackway again that you can see I'm zooming in on.
So he was following some Bigfoot tracks in the snow, and it led him to this area. He zooms in on some supposed Bigfoot trackways with his night vision camera. Then he pans his camera over to a pine tree and he says there's a Bigfoot hunched over, blending in with the trees. It's very hard to see at first, but at the end of his clip he shows what it looked like after and does a size comparison with himself. This shows us that there really could have been something there.
I'm about to walk up on a Sasquatch that you can see right now in the middle of the screen.
Then what sounds like a Sasquatch roar was picked up.
You're going to hear another Sasquatch make itself well known to me off to the right now.
The audio is enhanced to allow us to hear it better. The blended in creature stands there motionless. Standing then walks forward slightly, focused on the figure ahead. Then this happens.
The reason I know it's there is I've seen the trackway and that is standing out to me like a sore thumb. I'm concerned about making sure I have my focus. This is a wild animal I'm approaching out in the middle of nowhere all by myself. That's a Sasquatch. That's an 80-pound log that just took me out. From the third Sasquatch I had no idea was there, that was off to my left. There were 3 of them.
A gigantic log was hurled in his direction, landing right in front of him and slightly hitting him. He picks it up and moves it away, disoriented by the whole ordeal. He recalls there were 3 Sasquatches out there this night surrounding him. The one in the front that we can see slightly, the one to the right that we can hear, and then the one more to the left that threw the log at him. Here's his size comparison to where the creature was standing earlier.
I am 230 pounds. I'm 6'5" with those boots on. I'm standing there in the trackway. When I jump or put my arms in the air, my hands straight up in the air are about 8'6", which are still not reaching the height of the Sasquatch that had just been previously standing there.
The vacant space you see is where the creature was. According to his size assessment though, the creature would have been an estimated 9'8". Standing says that this would be the largest Bigfoot ever filmed. Definitely one of the craziest and most dangerous encounters I've covered. It seems he got too close this night, but somehow still escaped with his life. Let's take a look at a Bigfoot trail cam image you may have seen before, but this time along with the original photo it's enhanced, giving us a super clear HD look for the first time. The photo was said to be taken in Florida, showing the infamous skunk ape, Florida's Bigfoot legend. So first, here's the original. It shows a humongous, upright creature in Florida's swampy backcountry. It was said to be snapped specifically near the Big Cypress region of South Florida. And here's the enhanced version. It's just such a cool look, one of the perks of today's growing technological advancements. It looks like a gorilla almost, but it's too upright. It has human characteristics as well. Something is obviously off. Believers take a look at its proportions, its unnatural posture, and the overall remoteness of where the image was taken. They believe this tells us that it's the real deal. But skeptics say it could just be a really good costume or something, or even misidentified wildlife. Had you guys seen this image before? And what do you think about the new enhanced look? Is it enough to tell us it's legit? Let me know. Here is one of the most convincing new Bigfoot videos I've seen in a while. It's really clear and was just posted on July 25th, 2026. A couple of friends drove up to the Chinook Pass, a high mountain pass through the Cascade Range in Washington State. They state, at the top of the pass we saw Bigfoot walking around the lake. One of the friends zoomed in and filmed the spectacle. The video was filmed on an iPhone and was taken from the other side of the lake. And just on the other side is indeed a large, hairy, bipedal creature. It's slowly walking along, arms swinging. The figure looks huge and strong, too tall and broad to be a human. One witness says, if Bigfoot isn't real, then how do you explain this? Another thing that makes this even more convincing is the witness who uploaded it has never posted anything like this before. Her Instagram account is just used as a personal blog where she posts photos and videos of her day-to-day life and such. Never once had cryptids or Bigfoot been mentioned until she had this encounter. It seems she really did have an authentic encounter and wanted to show people. Also, for decades, Chinook Pass in Washington State has been one of the places most often linked to Bigfoot stories. The area is covered in miles of rugged wilderness. It seems like the kind of landscape where a large, elusive animal could remain hidden. And the area's recurring sightings corroborate this theory, adding this sighting to the catalog as well. So the fact that we know so many details about this one, like where it was taken, who took it, and when it was taken, it makes it one of the more legitimate Bigfoot videos we've watched. On the late night of July 8th, 2026, a woman ventured out into the wilderness all alone, with just her camera and a flashlight. She does this a lot, often exploring an undisclosed area that is said to have lots of these cryptid sightings. Bigfoot sightings are reportedly the most popular. Well, as she was in the area this night, she would run into something that looks like Bigfoot. She shines her flashlight out into the field, slowly scanning her surroundings. She scans and scans and scans, and then boom, something huge and dark is standing right in front of her.
I hear movement everywhere. Far away from me, but I hear it. What's got me is that dang corn moving. It's stuck in. Am I going crazy or did I just see something there? What was that? Someone's right here. I don't.
She had no idea something was this close. Then, as quick as she spots it, it disappears. It seemingly vanishes. Now you see it, now you don't. How could something this large vanish so quickly? It seems physically impossible. The explorer was shocked and puzzled, having trouble believing what she just saw right in front of her. She quickly left after this, terrified, not knowing where the figure went. Now, of course, after watching this, many viewers believed this was Bigfoot, not just because of how it looked, but how it behaved. Bigfoot is said to be insanely elusive, and that's why it hasn't been completely confirmed by science yet, and this is a perfect example. And one of my favorite Bigfoot theories is the interdimensional theory. Instead of viewing Bigfoot as an undiscovered ape or a surviving prehistoric primate, this theory proposes that the creature may originate from somewhere beyond our ordinary physical world. So Bigfoot may be capable of moving between different dimensions or realities, appearing only briefly before disappearing again. So was this exactly what this explorer captured on camera this night? A Bigfoot disappearing into another dimension right before her eyes? Many people say that this is one of the best videos to support this theory. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. This brand new Bigfoot video is one of the clearest of all time. It was just posted in early July of 2026. It reportedly comes from a couple of hikers out in the Appalachian wilderness. Not much is known about the events leading up to their insane footage. All we know is they didn't mean to run into this creature at all. When they spotted this creature watching them from between two trees, one of them grabbed their camera and quickly took the video we see here. The video showcases the face of what appears to be an ape-human hybrid staring at them intently. One detail viewers pointed out that was strange to them is throughout the footage it doesn't blink at all, not once. This raised lots of questions. Some took different routes when trying to figure out why the so-called creature behaved this way. Bigfoot believers said it was focused in on the hikers, locking its eyes on them and not blinking as some kind of intimidation tactic. But skeptics said it's AI generated or CGI, and the non-blinking could have been a mistake in its digital creation. Analyzing the footage though, which side do you guys lean towards? Regardless, it definitely is one of the clearest looks at a Bigfoot we've ever had, and it does look realistic. But even if this footage isn't legit, the Appalachian Mountains are practically filled with encounters like these that happen all the time. I mean, I talk about it all the time, but it's one of the most prevalent spots in the US when it comes to the unknown. So this lends the video a little more credibility as well. But let me know, is this legit HD footage of a Sasquatch? A terrifying, super close look at one of the most infamous cryptids in the world? If any further information comes out about this one, I'll let you all know. Let's take a look at some more clear Bigfoot captures. These ones are exceptionally clear, taken on a trail camera on July 19th, 2026. This one comes with two photos, one super close up of the Bigfoot's face, and one of its body hunched and walking through the dark forest. The unsettling images were taken in the middle of the night, location unlisted. But just look at the photos, they're bone-chilling. The close-up of its face looks super realistic, Neanderthal-like, and it looks like it has anger in its eyes. You can certainly see some human qualities in there. And the full-body capture looks pretty realistic as well. It has sparse yet thick hair on its body, thinning in some areas and thicker in others. A very realistic fur pattern. Its hands are gigantic and human-like, the lightest parts of its body. And in this one it has its mouth open slightly, showing us it's not a mask because it's moving and changing expression. I mean, what the hell is this thing? Of course there's always the AI debate, especially because the photos are recent, but I really think we need to get rid of all this artificial intelligence stuff. Yeah, it's pretty cool and all that we have such advanced technology, but I think it's going too far. But even when there's these constant debates on if the footage is real or not, people's stories and first-hand experiences will always remain. Hundreds of thousands of people all around the world have reported Bigfoot encounters, with some amazing evidence to back it up. And people who have seen Bigfoot themselves have no doubt in their minds that he's not real, something that AI and technological advancements will never change. The following is a Sasquatch trail cam photo coming from Arkansas. It was captured on October 17th, 2009, so pretty long ago, but it hasn't really been seen much. This one is dubbed the Arkansas Baby Bigfoot, and it was taken specifically in Mena, Arkansas. The blurrier capture does indeed show a Bigfoot-style creature. It's crouched down in some brush, seemingly trying to hide from the cameras. What's interesting about this one is how light its face is compared to the rest of its body. Its hair or fur is a dark brownish color and its face is almost a light gray shade. And its face looks youthful, almost baby-like. That's why it's called the Baby Bigfoot. Even though this one is said to be a baby, it still looks rather large. Which could be expected honestly with how huge these creatures are said to grow. Just imagine this thing as an adult. And Arkansas actually has a long history of Bigfoot reports, particularly in its heavily forested mountains and wilderness areas. Many encounters are said to occur in the Ozark Mountains and the Wichita Mountains, where hikers, hunters, campers, and fishermen occasionally report seeing a large ape-like figure moving through the trees. Witnesses often describe a creature standing between 7 and 9 feet tall, covered in dark hair with broad shoulders and long arms. But this is a very interesting capture to say the least. I find evidence of younger or baby Bigfoots super interesting, because most pieces of evidence just show adults and the baby captures are way rarer. Glimpses of smaller, more innocent and cuter versions of the Sasquatch. Here is a close-up piece of Bigfoot footage coming in from Park County, Colorado. The encounter took place near the town of Alma, the town with one of the highest elevations in North America. It measures in at around 10,578 feet above sea level. Well, in and around this city, there are lots of remote forests and wilderness areas, and this video was taken somewhere within one. I also want to point out that this video was highlighted in 2023 but likely posted way earlier. This means it can't be AI because it wasn't around like it is today. But anyways, the dark, Bigfoot-like creature slowly walks towards a stream. It bends down and reaches into the water, seemingly looking for something. It splashes around and then slowly raises up, and this is where the video cuts off. It seems the creature didn't realize the witness was there, and then might have spotted him there at the end. We also don't know what happened next, if the creature tried to attack the witness or if it simply retreated back into the woods, but it's some chilling footage to say the least. The way the creature walks and behaves, it doesn't seem like a person in a costume. It looks pretty legit from what we can see. Located in the heart of the Rocky Mountains, Park County, Colorado is often considered one of the state's most well-known regions for alleged Bigfoot encounters. Stories from the area have been shared for decades by hikers, campers, hunters, ranchers, and people exploring backcountry roads. The creature is usually described as standing between 7 and 8 feet tall, with broad shoulders, long arms, and a body covered in dark brown or black hair. Some encounters happen in broad daylight, while others occur around dawn or after sunset when visibility is lower. So is this another sighting to add to Park County's long catalog? It certainly seems like one of the more legitimate ones. Okay, some of you may have seen it, but I just went on a podcast recently called Nino's Corner, and it was a lot of fun. We had lots of groundbreaking discussions about cryptids and showed some really sick footage, so feel free to check it out if you haven't. But it was on this podcast that I would meet a guy named Alex, and he pretty much just kind of helped things run smoothly behind the scenes. Well, before the podcast, I got to talk to him, and he told me a super interesting story, and he shared with me an exclusive, never-before-seen Bigfoot photo. So here's the story. He says, this was taken in 2016 in Northern California, near Salyer, California, which is near the Humboldt/Trinity County line, and not very far from Orleans, California, where the Patterson-Gimlin footage was filmed. It was given to me by a guy who lives out in the mountains close to Willow Creek when I lived in Arcata. The photo itself was taken by a group of wildland firefighters who were in the area to fight the forest fires that were going on at the time, late summer/early fall 2016. You can see the Trinity River in the foreground and the Sasquatch appearing up on a bluff above the river, stepping out from behind a tree. Apparently, the firefighters who snapped the pic were yelling and trying to get its attention, but it just kept walking along a trail across the bluff and turned a corner and disappeared. End quote. This is just such a fascinating story and photo, too. I mean, look how absolutely massive the Bigfoot-like figure looks. Its head looks way too large, and it has the classic hunched posture too. So I hope you guys enjoyed this very exclusive Bigfoot photo and story that probably has never been heard before. And thanks again to Alex for sharing. On to the next. Some brand new amazing Bigfoot trail cam evidence has just come out. The first capture was taken on July 15th, 2026 at 1:36 a.m. in North Carolina. Pretty much a rural property owner set up a trail camera right towards the edge of their property, right behind their back porch. They had reportedly been experiencing, quote, Bigfoot activity for weeks, until they finally caught one clearly and confirmed their suspicions. Listen to this interesting observation by the Squatch Watchers.
It looks like this creature has been crouched in this spot several times. If you can tell, the bushes are pretty cleared out from the center compared to left to right, how high the trees are. This one's pretty wild.
So it looks like the Sasquatch would frequently hide in this spot, maybe watching the residents. Because of this capture, they set up more trail cameras. They put one out in the woods, across the river, further out, to see if they would catch it again. And sure enough, they did. This time it's seen hunched over, likely trying to blend in with the brush. Analyzing the first capture as well, it's seen sitting down, and it looks to have its arms out grabbing something, maybe its foot. It's hard to see what exactly is going on, but the creature itself is easy to see. It looks more humanoid shaped, not quite as bulky and muscular as some Bigfoots are described, although it could just be the angle too. Also, the section of woods behind them is reported to be extremely vast, with countless of acres of deep forest land. A perfect spot for Bigfoot to hide out. And even though North Carolina isn't exactly considered to be in the top Bigfoot hotspots in the US, the state has still had hundreds of pretty credible encounters over the years. So did these homeowners really catch Bigfoot on their remote land in North Carolina? The photos look super compelling and realistic, but let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Here is an insanely clear photo of a Bigfoot or Yeti, just highlighted on July 17th, 2026. It comes from somewhere in the US, believed to be taken on a trail camera set up somewhere deep in the woods. Even though the image just came out, it was taken in the wintertime, so it was likely earlier this year. Is the creature in the photo a white Bigfoot or Yeti that only comes out in the snow? It seems to almost blend in perfectly with the white snow. Its face is shown in super HD quality, looking directly into the camera. It has a wide, thick nose, a streamlined mouth, and eyes that appear to be full of life. It has an angry look, scowling, likely upset at finding the stealthy camera. Also, let's examine its skin. It's light in color and looks wrinkly and aged and tough. And its fur or hair seems thin and aged too, and it's completely snow white in color. Now, like a lot of Bigfoot evidence nowadays, this one remains pretty mysterious. We don't know too many details, so we're left kind of in the dark here. All we really have is this picture, this ultra clear picture. But is it enough alone to tell us it's legit? I tried my best to find any information I could on this one, but I came up completely empty-handed. Since it's newly released though, maybe the story and such will come out soon, and of course you guys know I'd share it with you as soon as I find it. And of course we have the AI debate with this one, which I have to clarify. Some believe it's AI because it's so clear, but some believe it's not. It's often hard to tell with photos if they're AI or not, but an AI test did say it's not likely to be AI. It's a very interesting one though. I feel like we don't see the Yeti a lot nowadays. Maybe Yeti populations are increasing along with the Sasquatch? Who knows? Intriguing stuff to say the least. The following is a newer video of a man who ventured out into the woods late at night. He was somewhere in the Ozarks. The Ozarks are a vast region of rugged wilderness, located mainly across southern Missouri and northern Arkansas, with smaller portions extending into Oklahoma and Kansas. While many people refer to them as the Ozark Mountains, the area is actually an ancient plateau that has been shaped by millions of years of erosion. Well, because of how remote the area is, many people report having strange encounters, run-ins with unknown creatures like Bigfoot and such. And this guy may have had one this night too.
Hey, bear. Sasquatch? Guys, I'm freaking out. I don't know what to do. Alright, I'm gonna put down this helmet. What are you?
He calls out to the creature, only able to see its eye shine. You can tell he's genuinely scared, not knowing if this is a known creature or an unknown creature. Either way, he can tell it's something huge and tall, so whatever it is, it's not good. He decides to keep his distance in film, trying to at least document his encounter a little bit before he leaves.
If you're a deer, make yourself known. The hell would a deer be doing that high up in a tree? What are you? Yo!
Because it is just an eye shine, of course we don't know for sure if this is Bigfoot, but the eye position does look pretty damn high, almost too high to be any kind of known animal living in this section of the US. And of course, based on the remote spot he's in, many speculated Bigfoot, because it would certainly be an area they would thrive in and be able to stay undetected. Like a lot of our oceans, a lot of our dense forests around the world remain unexplored and uncharted. Not really as much in the US, but more in other countries. So who truly knows what's out there? Who knows what kinds of creatures lurk in the unexplored depths of our world? So on my channel, I like to cover physical Bigfoot evidence the best. So videos, photos, footprints, and such. Well, this one's a little different. It's an eyewitness report that has been going extremely viral. It all went down in early July 2026 in eastern Connecticut. The case quickly gained widespread attention. Not only because of the witness's detailed description, but also because it was investigated by the Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization, the BFRO, and they ultimately classified it as a Class A sighting. Within days, television stations and online news outlets across the country were discussing the report, and still are actually.
The Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization says a highly credible sighting was reported this month right in New England, but neighbors aren't so sure.
Black bears, raccoons, bobcats, that sort of thing. So it wouldn't surprise me if there's a Bigfoot too.
According to the witness, the encounter occurred during the early morning hours after he had been visiting a friend staying at a cabin near Pachaug State Forest in the town of Voluntown. At around 1:45 in the morning, he was driving along a quiet road through the heavily wooded area when something unexpectedly appeared ahead of his vehicle. The witness said he only had a few seconds to react before slamming on the brakes. Standing in the roadway, he claimed was a massive, upright figure, unlike anything he had ever seen before. He estimated that it stood between 8 and 8.5 feet tall, and was built much more heavily than the average human. The witness described its stride as long and powerful, saying it crossed the roadway in only a few steps before disappearing into the darkness of the surrounding forest. Following the report, BFRO investigators interviewed the witness extensively. They traveled to the location, recorded an on-site recreation of the event, and questioned him about every aspect of what he remembered. According to the organization, the witness remained consistent throughout multiple interviews and appeared genuinely convinced that he had encountered something extraordinary. Based on their investigation, the BFRO listed the case as a Class A sighting, meaning they believe the witness sincerely observed an unidentified upright creature under conditions that allowed for a clear view. Unfortunately, recent rainfall had left the ground wet and covered with pine needles and forest debris, making it difficult to preserve footprints or other trace evidence. No hair samples, photographs, footprints, or DNA was found. Whether it's one of the strongest modern Bigfoot reports, or simply another unexplained encounter, depends largely on one's perspective. This video was taken by a group of hikers who came across something they couldn't explain. They spotted a large dark creature hiding in a tree, and they couldn't quite put their finger on what it was. The video is insane, and it came out way before AI was even a thing. Check it out.
Petting the bears. What? These aren't your petting the bears. I think his face is the other way. Yeah. Bear or is it a porcupine?
Oh no. I see an ape.
Yeah, it does look like a monkey. We'll have good video, Karen.
Can't believe we saw a porcupine bear.
That really looks like a monkey.
I know.
The hikers seem genuinely confused at what they're looking at. As the video goes on, the angle of the creature gets better. Towards the end, it really looks like some kind of Sasquatch perched up in the tree, not moving. Some viewers point out that the so-called creature wasn't really moving much, but the hikers were there in real time and could tell it was something alive.
I'm gonna go climb the tree.
That could have been worse than if they were for parking. Yeah.
And they were up decently close too. How were they not able to identify what it was? Many think it's because it's an unidentified creature that hasn't been fully discovered, a Bigfoot. The witnesses keep saying in the video that it looks like a monkey, but they know it pretty much can't be because they were in an area where monkeys don't live. It's believed they were somewhere in North America. It's just such a strange encounter overall. And after they filmed it for a good while, they stopped the video. It's presumed they left right after filming the video, not investigating further and leaving whatever it was alone, not wanting to disturb it any further. Also, you gotta think, if you were to encounter something like this, that would be the safest decision to make, to film it quickly from a distance and then retreat. If you got closer to it and tried to investigate, it could provoke an attack or anger the creature, even if it was just a wild animal out there. You're not supposed to mess with these kinds of things, but was this really a juvenile Bigfoot hiding in the tree? It certainly does look pretty Bigfoot-like. I don't know though. Your guess is as good as mine. Here is another super realistic Bigfoot video. It's unknown when exactly it was taken, but it was taken a very long time ago. It just hasn't really been seen much. It comes from Alberta, Canada, a Bigfoot hotspot. Hunters were out on an elk hunt this day when they came across a huge herd of them. The sight was so breathtaking that one of the hunters pulled out their camera and began recording. Little did they know that they would accidentally capture something absolutely terrifying in the background. At first it's hard to see and you may have missed it, but slowing the footage down and zooming in, when the elk run by, something is watching in the tree line. What looks like a large, upright human figure is seen standing there. It looks to be light brownish in color and absolutely gigantic. It has broad shoulders, a domed head, the classic Sasquatch details. And because the video was taken a long time ago and from so far away, the camera quality isn't the best. I mean, the man didn't even mean to film a Bigfoot, he was just trying to innocently film some elk. So it's not like he was even prepared to get evidence like this. Now, elk stand pretty tall. The average full-grown male is around 5 foot tall at the shoulder, and this creature in the background absolutely towers over these large creatures. And I'm sure some of these are well over 5 foot as well. This creature would be unfathomably tall in real life. If the hunters weren't so focused on the elk, they definitely would have seen it. The Bigfoot-like creature probably came out though because of these elk, likely hunting them, and unaware of the humans hunting them in the distance too. Definitely one of the more unique and realistic Bigfoot videos on the internet. Now this is the newest evidence we have today. It was just highlighted on July 30th, 2026. It was released by Smoky Mountain Bigfoot on TikTok, and they state, quote, "Possible Bigfoot yells. Not sure when or where this was recorded. Pretty much a man was out in the woods when he was caught off guard by some sudden weird screams. He quickly grabbed his phone, hoping the sound would happen again and he could document what was happening. And sure enough, the yells happened again, not once, but twice.
What was that? I heard something.
Then he stops his video and retreats. He had no idea what these yells could have belonged to. Could it somehow be an animal we know of? Could something of this world produce sounds this powerful? Or is it really something undiscovered, like a Bigfoot? Of course, people went back and forth in the comments, and a true conclusion was never met. Some say mountain lions or bears, but could they really sound like this? And of course, some say Bigfoot because of how booming and unnatural it sounds. One thing's for sure though, whatever it was definitely dangerous, and the hiker certainly made the right move by fleeing almost instantly. Have you ever heard weird screams or sounds in the forest? I definitely have, but let me know your experiences in the comments. Let's take a look at a very realistic Bigfoot video. A man by the name of Richard Stewart Taylor, a Bigfoot researcher, took the footage in Texas, and he states, quote, "I've shared this video clip before that was taken by me in far east Texas, out in the deep piney woods. I had a call come to me high up the ridge north of where myself and 12 other researchers would spend the night. I scouted the ridge with 4x50 binoculars and found a dark spot in the tree line later by GPS waypoints. It was 528 yards away. I did not have high-dollar video equipment. I held a 30x binocular over the camera lens and I had to look at the small 1x1 LED screen without my reading glasses. All said, I got a video of the big guy up in the tree watching us and you can hear one call. Fortunate to get this at such a range," end quote.
Yeah, I don't know if it's anything, it's a dark shape up there in the trees. Yep.
How far? Which direction from the deer stand?
There's a dark spot between the trees up there. That joker looks like it's moving. I'll be able to see it in the video. I'm thinking there's something up in the trees. See that? Go down the hill.
His video uncut lasts just over 3 minutes, and in the longer video we can surely make out some kind of dark figure in the distance. It looks to be extremely massive, with a domed head and hunched posture, seemingly hiding within the thick trees. It seems to slightly move throughout the film too, indicating it's a real living thing.
I don't know if it's moving or not, but I got a pretty good look at it. It looks like it's moving, but I don't know.
Some say because the video was taken from so far away and we don't get the clearest look at the creature that it's staged or hoaxed. Yes, of course, I wish we got a clearer shot, but this one was taken a while ago and he didn't have the best camera equipment as stated, so I guess we'll just have to settle with this. It still is pretty remarkable and I like his story. I also like that we have a lot of information with this one too, like where it was taken and who took it. These are important details that can do a lot for investigators. But did this video do a lot for you, or is it another blurry Bigfoot hoax? Let me know. For this one, we have a really crazy found photo coming in from Ozark County, Missouri. This is the Blue Man of Spring Creek. It's actually one of the oldest Bigfoot-like accounts to come out of the Missouri Ozarks. Unlike many modern Sasquatch reports, this one dates back to 1865, just after the Civil War, making it one of the earliest documented accounts of a large, mysterious, human-like creature in the American Midwest. Despite this photo hasn't really been seen by anyone, and it was said to just recently have surfaced. A well-known Ozark hunter and trapper named Blue Soul Collins was tracking a bear through fresh snow near Spring Creek in Douglas County, Missouri, when he noticed something unusual. Mixed in with the animal tracks was a trail of enormous footprints that looked somewhat bear-like, but were far larger than anything he had ever encountered. So pretty much he followed the tracks for miles and eventually ran into a huge human-like figure, but it was larger and stronger than a man. Some stories say he killed and captured the creature, and this is the photo. And way later, a traveling photographer revealed the image, claiming he took the photo of Solomon and the infamous Blue Man. This part of the story does remain pretty much unconfirmed, but the image does look super realistic. It certainly looks to show an old-timey photo and a man posing with a big creature hanging from a log. A Bigfoot-like creature. What do you guys think, though? Let's check out another video coming in from Richard Stewart Taylor once again. He says he was in a very remote location in southern Missouri during the late fall along a creek at around midnight. Him and 4 other people were out there and they began seeing these shining eyes moving about in various places.
Yep. Hey Lou, I got one peeking out from behind a tree.
He states, quote, "I get out my black and white night vision camera and scan the opposite bank at about 4 times power. The full 8 times telephoto is much too grainy. I stop where I thought I saw movement and wait. Sure enough, curiosity got the best of my hiding subject, and they have to take another peek at us. When I tell an associate of this, the subject immediately understood exactly what I said, and it eased back down out of sight. An animal would not have understood this dialogue, nor would they have even cared. This subject clearly understood my words." End quote. Analyzing the grainy video, we do indeed see a dark head pop up from behind the tree. It stays in that position for a while and then ducks back down again, disappearing from sight. Is there enough here to tell us it's Bigfoot? Taylor is 100% convinced it was, and he was the one who was out there this night. It still remains a mystery though, a chilling mystery that may be better off unsolved. Today we've looked at HD Bigfoot videos, photos, and footprints. So what kind of evidence haven't we covered yet? Audio evidence. This recent video comes from Montana again, specifically in Crow County towards Sheridan. A father and son were out in the remote area this day when some really weird screams began.
What the hell is that, Dad? Yeah. Shut up. What the hell is that? I don't know. Shut up. Hey.
The screams sounded like deep, guttural, primal yells, Bigfoot-like yells. The son filmed them, shocked, not knowing what else to do. They continue on for about a minute, and the pair seem genuinely concerned. What could possibly produce sounds like this? One of the most commonly reported Bigfoot vocalizations is a deep, powerful yell that seems much louder than any normal human voice. Witnesses often describe it as a booming roar that echoes across valleys and forests, sometimes carrying for what seems like miles. People frequently say the sound has enough volume to make the ground seem to vibrate or their chest feel the force of it. Another sound often mentioned is a long, drawn-out scream. Unlike the roar of a bear or the howl of a wolf, these screams are described as having a strange human-like quality. Some compare them to a person shouting at the top of their lungs, while others say the sound begins low and rises into a piercing, almost haunting shriek before fading away. These are certainly the types of sounds they were hearing this day. Obviously, the main issue with audio evidence is that we don't get any visual confirmation, but these sounds here may be telling enough. What do you guys think? Was this Bigfoot screaming out in the Montana wilderness this day? Many certainly believe so. Here is some very old, just recently resurfaced footage. Pretty much a man films some unidentified screams and yells coming from the forest. And they don't sound like anything we've ever heard before. They sound almost human, but not. The story goes like this. The man and his dog were inside their home this evening when the strange sounds started. The dog reportedly got so scared that it started barking and even hiding underneath tables. They live in a pretty remote spot, practically surrounded by thick woods. After hearing the sounds for some time, the man grabs his camera and decides to go outside to see if he can catch them on camera and get a better idea of what they could be. When he hears them closer though, he turns and runs back inside, absolutely petrified.
Coyotes, yep. They're dipping sounds.
Many people believe the sounds belong to a Bigfoot, and others simply don't know what to make of them. Listening again, they sound pretty similar to human screams, just louder and more powerful. And Bigfoots are said to make a wide range of vocalizations. From screams to howls to whoops, the list is pretty broad. And I think it's safe to say that these kinds of sounds in the video could also fit into the category. Now, some believe it could have been a person in trouble out there though, or even a deranged person, maybe a serial killer living out there. Some also talk about other cryptids like pale crawlers and wendigos, to name a couple. But one thing's for sure, none of these possibilities are anything good. This is a lose-lose situation here, and the man likely made the right choice by running away and hiding back inside his home. It seems his fight or flight response made the correct response this night. Ending today's video off with a wildlife clip, of course, and this one has been going very viral. It was just posted on June 23rd, 2026. A group of people were just driving around this day when they came across one of the most bizarre sights ever. Two animals seemingly hanging out that definitely shouldn't be together.
Dutch Harbor, look at this. The eagle and a fox.
Somebody do something. Yeah, get a picture.
I got a video right.
Dude, two predators. They're like homies.
I got them.
They're like, I got everything in the air. You got everything on the ground.
They have to be friends. That eagle to eat that fox.
Yeah. That's the craziest thing I've ever seen.
The witnesses are freaking out, loving every moment of this. This has to be one of the rarest duos ever. I mean, a fox and an eagle? It's like something out of a movie or cartoon or something. How is this real life? They're just sitting there on the picnic table enjoying each other's presence. This all went down in a city called Unalaska in Alaska. Man, I really want to know the story behind this one. Like, how the heck did they just end up sitting on a picnic table together? How did this encounter take place? Now, foxes and eagles don't usually get along in the way people or social animals might. In the wild, they usually ignore one another unless their paths cross because of food or territory. An adult fox is generally too large and powerful for most eagles to attack, so the two animals often coexist without much conflict. They may even hunt in the same general area while targeting different prey. A fox spends most of its time searching for small mammals, birds, insects, and fruit on the ground, while an eagle watches from the sky for rabbits, fish, waterfowl, and other animals. This honestly has to be one of the coolest videos on the internet, and I know I say that a lot, but I really mean it. This one is just so crazy and I've never seen anything like it. But I hope this fox and eagle are still friends and are still hanging out somewhere. Today's wildlife clip might be scarier than the Bigfoot clips. It was taken back in 2017 in Florida. The caption reads, "This truly massive alligator was casually spotted walking across a path in Central Florida." The locals call it hunchback, and you'll see why. This absolute dinosaur of an alligator slowly walks across the path. It emerges out of the brush seemingly out of nowhere. I mean, imagine not expecting anything and all of a sudden this beast just emerges from out of the bushes. It seriously would be an experience straight out of a horror movie. But anyways, the videographers and photographers watch in awe as the gator walks by. I hope one day I get to see a gator like this in the wild, but obviously not too close up. I would want to be at a safe distance like these guys. And growing up, I've always loved alligators and other animals that most people find scary. There's something so cool and mesmerizing about such a strong and respected animal. And I have seen a few alligators in the wild, just not super close up, and they've usually been in the water further away. But let me know what your favorite animal is in the comments though. Do you like the scary, badass types of animals like I do? Or do you like the more majestic animals or the cuter animals? I think all living creatures are fascinating in at least some way. But be sure to let me know in the comments down below. Alright, as you may know, I always end off my videos with wildlife clips. And this one is absolutely insane. It was taken on July 24th, 2024. A man was driving down a heavily forested road this day when something completely unexpected jumped out and ran towards him. Check it out. The uploader states, quote, "On my way to guide Yellowstone today, I ran into a mama bear fighting with her cubs over breakfast. Sorry for the bad camera skills. I had a flashback to when I got charged 4 years ago, so it's hard not to flinch," end quote. But man, what a cool up-close video. The three bears rush out of the trees and onto the road, locked in on their fight. The mama bear and one of the cubs both have the prey in its mouth, trying to rip it away from each other. And the other one is trailing close behind. They stop for a second, trying to grab the prey, and then they quickly rush back into the forest from whence they came, continuing their battle. Things like this happen in the wild every single day, but do we get to see it often? Definitely not. And mother bears are fiercely protective of their cubs, but when food is scarce, competition can still happen within the family. Cubs are naturally curious and eager to eat, and when they find a valuable food source, they may crowd around it or try to grab the best pieces before their siblings or mom do. This can lead to plenty of pushing, wrestling, and playful squabbles between the family. And this is pretty much what we're seeing here. Just a perfect example of how wild nature can get. But I hope all three of these bears got to enjoy their meal this day. I wish we could have seen the rest of the fight. Alright, ending the video off like usual with a nature clip. Now many of you guys have heard about or have been experiencing effects from the recent Canadian wildfires. And first of all, I just want to say my condolences and thoughts go out to anybody affected by these fires. Any lives lost or anyone who's been harmed, my prayers go out to you. Well, along with these devastating fires have come some pretty crazy viral videos. One of the most viral comes from a man named Lindo Tyler. Even though he filmed one of the coolest looking videos to ever exist, the story behind it is very sad. He says, quote, "I can't believe this happened. I watched my home burn, although I'm happy we got everyone out at the last minute," end quote. So his home was caught in the path of this massive wildfire and it burned to the ground. But luckily he and everyone else escaped with their lives. Once again, my prayers go out to him and I hope he and his family are doing well. But man, this is such a breathtaking video, such a scary yet beautiful scene. When I first saw this video, I thought it was fake or AI because of how insane it looks, but it's not. It's the real deal. The scene looks almost apocalyptic, otherworldly. This just shows us how dangerous and impactful these fires really are. Mother Nature really is unpredictable. But one of the biggest effects of these wildfires is the massive amount of smoke they produce. Thick smoke has drifted far beyond the fire zones, crossing much of Canada and reaching parts of the United States. But wildfires are a natural part of Canada's forests and have played an important role in shaping these ecosystems for thousands of years. Some tree species even rely on periodic fires to help spread their seeds and renew the forest. However, when weather conditions become unusually dry and hot, fires can grow much larger and become way more difficult to contain. A perfect example of how mystical yet unforgiving Mother Nature can be. Time for today's wildlife clip, and it's one of my absolute favorites. Now, a certain animal has been going insanely viral for the last week or so. It's a raccoon. Maybe some of you guys have heard of him before. His nickname is Jimothy, and he's absolutely captured the internet's attention.
What am I looking at?
What am I looking at?
What makes him stand out isn't anything he does, it's the way he looks. Unlike most raccoons, Jimothy has an incredibly short, rounded body with a tiny neck and long legs, giving him a shape that's unlike almost any other raccoon people have ever seen. Jimothy lives in the Seattle area, where local residents have been spotting him for quite some time. Although neighbors had seen him before, he didn't become famous until someone shared a short video of him casually waddling across a sidewalk. Within days, the clip spread across social media, earning millions of views as people tried to figure out why he looked so different. Wildlife experts believe Jimothy was likely born with a very rare spinal condition that affected the way his backbone developed. Instead of growing to its normal length, parts of his spine appear to have formed differently, giving him his compact body shape. Even so, he seems to get around surprisingly well. Despite his unusual appearance, Jimothy behaves much like any healthy wild raccoon. He's been seen exploring neighborhoods, climbing over obstacles, searching for food, and moving confidently through his environment. His condition doesn't appear to stop him from living a normal life in the wild. His story quickly became one of the internet's feel-good moments. Fans created artwork, jokes, animations, and countless memes celebrating the little raccoon. Many people admired how he carried on with his everyday life without letting his unusual appearance slow him down. While nobody knows what exactly the future holds for Jimothy, he's already become one of the most memorable wild animals to ever go viral. His story has reminded millions of people that nature is full of surprises, and sometimes the most unexpected creatures end up becoming internet legends. Time for today's nature clip, and this one was pretty wholesome until it wasn't. Two friends were driving down a back road in mid-June when they came across an amazing sight. A mama bear and its 4 cubs walking down the path. They slow their car down to a stop and record them up close, a decision they would likely regret.
Oh my goodness. Hey. Look how cute you are. Hey, there he goes. Bye. Bye.
The encounter seems peaceful and innocent at first. But then, right at the end, the mama black bear decided it had enough.
Bye-bye. Hey. Hey, you okay? Okay. What'd it do? It just jumped at me and said, like, stop.
It lunged towards the car, terrifying the drivers. Then, of course, they quickly drove away, shocked by what just happened. Now, it seems the bear wasn't going to fully charge them, it just tried to scare them more to get them to go away. But when you see a bear with her cubs, the best thing to do is stay far away. Even though black bears are said to be the most docile out of all the bear types, they can get super aggressive and territorial, especially when it comes to their cubs. I mean, they are giant wild animals at the end of the day, and these drivers found out the hard way. It's so funny how the video starts off so calm and it goes from 0 to 100 in a matter of seconds. This really is a prime example of why you don't mess with a mama bear's cubs. The drivers are lucky the bear didn't try to fully attack, but of course they were in the safety of their car, so they likely would have been able to drive away to avoid it. But you never know, these powerful creatures can move way quicker than you'd think, maybe even quicker than you could react. Not surprisingly though, the video went super viral, bringing in just shy of 16 million views, and I think it deserved every single one. I hope you guys enjoyed today's nature clip and maybe even learned something, and I hope you enjoyed all of today's clips. Alright, I think it's going to be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did enjoy, go ahead and smash the like button's mom. Let's aim for 5,000 likes for another one of these Bigfoot videos. And if you want to get to know me more, you want to see more of my spooky content, you can go ahead and follow me on Instagram, MaxwellFear, or you can go ahead and follow me on TikTok, MaximumFearYT. And be sure to subscribe to the channel, because only 20% of you guys who watch my videos are subscribed. And be sure to hit that bell as well so you don't miss when I upload. And shout out to my second channel, More Maximum Fear, where I post other scary content that you guys would definitely love. Alright, I hope your fear was maximized. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.